Have you ever stopped and thought about the fact that maybe there's nothing actually wrong with your life? Maybe you are productive, you're taking care of everything that needs to be done, you're taking care of yourself, maybe your family, friends, all of your responsibilities. You have great people in your life. Maybe you're surrounded by family and friends, and maybe you do acknowledge these things and truly feel grateful. But somewhere underneath it all, somewhere deep down, you don't feel connected with yourself. Maybe you just don't quite feel like yourself anymore. And the reason why this can be so confusing is if everything in your life seems to be okay, if everything is generally going well, how are you supposed to know what to fix or work on when overall everything looks good? And the fact is, sometimes feeling disconnected doesn't actually mean that anything is wrong with your life. Maybe everything actually is going really good for you, but the thing is, feeling disconnected from yourself is something that can actually happen very gradually to the point where you might not even notice it happening. Maybe one day you wake up and you think, wow, it's actually been a long time since I've felt connected with myself. Like I've actually felt like, wow, I feel like myself. I'm feeling super proud of who I am and how I express myself. Maybe it's one of those things that happens little by little over time to the point where it's not like something drastic happened, something crazy shifted in your life, but maybe it's something that happened little by little, day after day, and one day you realize, hey, like it's been a long time since I've actually felt like really truly me. Maybe you are very stuck in your daily routine. Maybe you wake up every morning, eat breakfast, get ready for school or for work, and then you go to school or work, and then you do what you need to do there, come home, make dinner, get your jammies on, watch TV. Maybe this is something that you do every single day and you are so used to it. You are getting everything done that you need to, and everything truly is going well. Overall, you do feel pretty satisfied with your routine and how things are going. But the thing is, that self-connection aspect maybe isn't there. And I know for me, this has happened a lot at different points in my life, especially during transition periods. Maybe you're switching jobs, becoming a parent, moving. Anytime you're in a transition period, I've noticed the disconnection can kind of seep in a little bit easier, and even more so unnoticed because you're distracted by other things going on in your life. So yeah, these have been times for me where I've noticed I become a little bit more disconnected from myself because I'm so distracted, especially too when I became a mom. And just becoming a mom in general, I feel like you're so focused on your child, learning how to be a mom, figuring out what they need, and all of these beautiful things that personally in my experience, I've noticed that's when I had to learn how to incorporate more self-connection in my daily life, because when you have so many responsibilities, it can be hard to remember to actually connect with yourself and even question what it is you need to feel satisfied and connected to yourself. So you might be really good at simply responding to life, responding to the situations around you and doing exactly what you need to do. I'm curious if this sounds familiar to you, because it has been super mind-blowing for me to think about all of these concepts and be like, wow, like this has really been my life. Like I am so good at adapting to new situations and kind of knowing exactly what I need to do to adapt to whatever life throws at me. So maybe this is true for you too. Maybe you're really good at responding to what's going on around you, but the thing is, you also need to pay attention to the person who is actually living the life. So you need to be paying attention to yourself as well, because after all, like, you are the person living the life. So you also do need to prioritize being connected to yourself, the person experiencing life. And it is so easy to give all of our attention to the people, the places, everything that needs us. But we also need to remember that we need us too. And I also just want to say really quickly that yes, sometimes the problem can be not knowing the things that you're interested in, not knowing what brings you joy, not knowing what you truly enjoy doing. And I will be covering these type of concepts in the future. But I would also like to say that you might know yourself well. You might know what you need to be happy. You might know what lights you up, what makes you feel fulfilled and just alive, but you can know yourself well. You can know exactly what you need, what you like, what you enjoy, but you can have all the information in the world, but what will you do with information? Because it is one thing to know yourself, but it is another thing to actually cultivate that relationship with yourself and give yourself the time, space, and energy that you need to actually feel fulfilled and actually spend the time with yourself and give yourself the things that you truly do need to feel fulfilled. If you are new to this channel, I would just like to say that one thing we practice here is something called tiny shifts. I talk about this way more in depth in other videos, but basically the concept is we make tiny changes here. We don't make drastic change or anything overwhelming, but we are very gentle and patient with ourselves. So as far as how to start feeling connected to yourself, we're only going to be talking about one thing in this video, and it is simply, how have you been feeling lately? Again, I'm going to say this one more time. How have you been feeling lately? And I'm not talking about how you've been doing, how things have been going for you, how productive you've been, how many things you have accomplished, or everything you've been doing for other people. I am talking about how you have been feeling on the inside. And you might need to take some time to think about this. And also too, when thinking about this question, just remember we are not needing to come up with solutions right now. We're not trying to fix how we're feeling, but actually we are just simply noticing. We are noticing how we are feeling and just sitting with that for a while. So to give you a couple of examples, if you're not sure how to answer this, a couple words that pop into my mind: maybe you've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed, maybe you've been feeling like you've been living on autopilot, maybe generally disconnected, or maybe you've actually been feeling pretty content. Maybe you've been feeling like, okay, things are going actually well, I'm feeling excited about life. So there is a huge range of feelings, and it can be very simple or more complex. So again, think about this and don't think about just your surface level emotions, but take some time to actually think about how you've been feeling more deep down. Maybe you haven't actually been aware about how you've been feeling, but maybe if you take some time, sit with it, you can kind of dig a little deeper and uncover more so of how you've been truly feeling. I truly do think that change happens slowly over time, and I think taking small moments to reconnect with ourselves like this is what will truly bring lasting, sustainable change to our lives. So that is why I have made a self-connection check-in, and it is a free resource. At the time of this video, I don't think I have actually made it live yet, but as soon as I'm done with it, I will list it in the description. If you feel ready for some guided change, some guided experience on reconnecting with yourself, maybe uncovering new things about yourself, and taking tiny steps towards reconnection, fulfillment, and happiness, I have created a course called Your Daily Happiness Routine, and it is a very gentle process And if you would like to hear more about it, please check out the link in the description. It links you directly to my course page where it explains it a little bit more. So to close out this video, I would just like to remind you that to feel disconnected from yourself, it doesn't mean you have to lose your entire life. You don't have to have had something crazy and dramatic happen to you to feel disconnected from yourself. Feeling disconnected from yourself is something that is very normal to experience, and it doesn't have to be because of anything crazy. Oftentimes it is something that happens gradually without us even realizing it. And along with this being said, you do not have to change your entire life to feel more connected to yourself. This is something we can do in tiny shifts, tiny steps. It doesn't have to be crazy or overwhelming. It can be something that you do day by day, moment by moment, and with self-compassion and lots of grace towards yourself. So to leave this video, I would like to ask you one question. If you would like to answer in the comments, that would be lovely, or else you can journal about it as well. But I'm curious what your personal experience has been with self-connection. Do you have a self-connection practice, or is this a new concept to you? So I'm very curious about that. But if you had enjoyed this video, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos similar to this, and please let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.